Hi everyone. Um, I'm not in the picture frame today because it's late at night and I look even worse than I did in the video from yesterday. So I'm just going to show you the screen. So what I wanted to talk to you about today was to talk you through this week's writing exercise. And as part of that, I'm going to talk a little bit about how to locate sources on the Bridgewater State University website. So this is already posted on the discussion board site. It's post number 5, this week's writing exercise. And this week's writing exercise, um, sorry about that. This week's writing exercise is connected to the work you're doing in locating sources. One thing that I've found with students is that they have a tendency to kind of find the quickest way to find some sort of article. But I think you probably know that not every article, not every source is appropriate for school and for research purposes. But that isn't to say that it's bad. I am a person who watches movies with Wikipedia all the time. Like, especially if I'm watching a movie that's about a famous person and I want to see how carefully the movie is documenting this person's life, I'll often call up Wikipedia and check to see. Or if I just need some quick information about somebody and I'm not doing some big old report about it, that's another occasion when I'll probably just use something like Wikipedia. Um, Sometimes I'll just, everybody says the phrase, just Google it. And lots of information comes up when you Google things. Some of it's good, some of it's not true, some of it's super old or just weird. But, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. So for this exercise, but it is different. And that's my point. It's different. And so with this exercise, what I'd like for you to do is to see how these different things are different. I'm asking you to research some key terms that you're figuring out from your research project. And for the purposes of this assignment, I decided that if I'm interested in thinking about the cost versus the benefit of attending college, if that's my paper, then maybe student debt might be something that I would be interested in researching. So the first place that I researched it was on Wikipedia. And I'm going to show you how that looks as soon as I find it. Yep, here it is. So there is an article in Wikipedia about student debt. I actually wasn't sure if it would. There's a lot of information here. There's stuff about Canada, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, which I have to say, I don't know that I would have found out. Um, So there's a lot of information here that maybe won't help me. Like, I don't really know if I want to know a lot about at this moment how many people go to school in these different countries. But it is, in fact, interesting to see how cheap it can be to go to school in other countries. I think this is something that a lot of um, folks from the United States feel like we pay so much for college, and in other places it's not as expensive. Um, so Then there's a bunch of history, some statistics. Um, so they are telling me to go to this, student loans in the United States. So that might actually be something that I go to because that could maybe help me answer my question more specifically. What is interesting about this is that it does explain to me things about student loans, student like Stafford loan, aggregate limits, loans to parents, disbursement, debt levels. So just to understand the process, this might not actually be so very bad. So that's what I found in Wikipedia. Um, Going back to the website, another way that you can do this is by just doing a search in Google. And when I did my search on Google, um, this is one of the things that I found, which was a video. This is from CNBC, which is a popular, and by popular I mean it's not scholarly. It's anybody can watch CNBC news program, but it is really current, and so that might be something that could be helpful to me. So this is about President Biden's ideas about public service and loan forgiveness programs. Um, that might be interesting to me. It might be something that could be useful. Um, and then the last place that I did a search was so you can click on those links and it will take you to what I'm showing you here. I did a scholarly search in a scholarly database, which was I did in Jstor. And I'm going to go, this is the Jstor page, and I already searched it. So I have another video to show you how to use it. So I'm just going to keep showing you what I'm showing you here. So I limited my search in a couple of ways. I only asked for journals, and I only did from 2015 to 2021. I couldn't figure out ways to make it shorter here, and for some reason it'll only give me all content. It can't do content I can access, which is really what I wanted. I didn't want articles that I couldn't access immediately, which I think is probably true for you guys. You don't want things that you have to wait for. So there was a lot of stuff that I found here. And it was interesting because, like, the California Law Review seems super official. That's from 2015. I did see this one, and this is actually the one that I thought about downloading, but then I downloaded this one, Student Loan Information Provision and Academic Choices, because it talks really specifically about kinds of debt. I saw this here. And so I downloaded it by clicking on that, and here's that article here, Public Economics. It's from the American Economic Review, which is a scholarly journal. It's current, 2016, so it's not too old. And I think it gives me a lot of information about the effects of student debt on college choice, which is potentially connected to my overall topic about how to balance college cost versus the benefits of college. But like now I'm looking at this crazy equation, which I don't even understand. I know some of you are economics majors, so maybe you would understand it, but I totally don't. So there's some parts of this that would be difficult for me to read because I'm not an economist and I don't always know all of the things that they talk about. But I still think there are probably some things that would be valuable in this article. And I know for sure that this is an article that has been vetted by other people, so other people have decided if it's good. So once I've collected my sources and I've skimmed them, and I want to be clear, I'm not asking you to read them super carefully unless it turns out that they're really good for your research project. I'm just asking you to skim them because what I want you to do is write about 250 words about what you notice about these sources. What do they seem to have in common with each other? How are they different? And I don't just mean like one's a video and one is written. I mean like in terms of levels of information, is it kind of generic? Is it sort of information that doesn't feel very specific? Is it not really making an argument like Wikipedia is? Is it super detailed the way that piece from the American Economic Review is? So I want you to think about those things. And then the other thing I want you to think about is how could you use these different sources on different occasions, including the research paper that you're actually working on right now. So it's only 250 words that I'm asking you to write, and I'm giving you a few days to do it. And as I scroll down, I'm seeing that more and more people are starting to fill in other discussion boards. That's good. I hope to see everybody writing in the discussion boards, all of them. And I got one person's first part of the paper, positioning yourself as a researcher, and I look forward to receiving more. So that's what's going on for this assignment. You have a couple days to do this, and you'll post this material on our class website on the discussion board, and I can go to it oh, actually I'm on it, so you can see where you're posting it. All right, folks, 10 minutes. That's all I wanted to tell you. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Bye.